Pac saw the future. He's like, hey, there's gonna be a guy that come along. He's gonna say he's so dope, and he's gonna say this and say this, but don't believe nothing.
Jay is not gonna come out the room because Tupac threatened him, so he's not gonna do his show. So I guess Suge called Pac. Pac let him go ahead and do his show and everything like that. But Jay was scared to come out his room. Probably still is scared.
On November 30th, 1994, Tupac Shakur was ambushed and shot 5 times in the lobby of Quad Studios in Manhattan. Though he survived, the attack left him deeply suspicious. Soon after, Tupac publicly accused Biggie and others of being involved, despite Biggie's denial. This marked the beginning of one of hip-hop's most infamous rivalries. Amid the growing feud, Jay-Z was navigating his way through the competitive rap scene, looking for opportunities to establish himself as a respected lyricist. Introduced to Biggie by DJ Clark Kent, their bond quickly grew into a creative partnership that led to collaborations, including the iconic track Brooklyn's Finest from Jay-Z's debut album, Reasonable Doubt. The track is remembered not only for its lyrical brilliance, but also for subtle provocations. In one verse, Biggie quips, "If Faye had twins, she'd probably have 2 packs. Get it? Tupacs?" A wordplay referencing Tupac Shakur and Biggie's wife, Faith Evans. During the height of the East Coast-West Coast feud, Tupac alleged he had a romantic encounter with Faith Evans while she was married to Biggie. Faith, a singer signed to Bad Boy Records, denied the claims, but Tupac doubled down by referencing the alleged affair in his diss track Hit 'Em Up, intensifying the animosity. Tupac, already embroiled in tension with Biggie, took note of Jay-Z's loyalty to his friend. As the East Coast-West Coast feud escalated, Jay-Z's growing association with Biggie made him a target in Tupac's lyrical attacks. Hit 'Em Up is one of the most notorious diss tracks in hip-hop history, primarily aimed at Biggie and Bad Boy Records. However, it also contained a diss directed at Jay-Z, which was ultimately omitted from the final version of the song. The original version of Hit 'Em Up remained on the internet, but with a twist. When Tupac mentions Jay-Z, the recording contains what sounds like a chewed tape.
And if you want to be down with Bad Boys, then shoot. JayZs,
Despite the brutal attacks in Hit 'Em Up, Biggie chose not to respond directly to Tupac's diss. Biggie believed engaging would only escalate the feud further. Jay-Z urged Biggie to retaliate against Tupac, seeing it as an opportunity to defend their side of the rivalry. Biggie ultimately declined, maintaining his decision to stay above the fray.
Even I was like, yo, let's go. Do something. He was like, nah, I know where this is going. Not gonna feed into that energy. That's not the sort of energy that I want.
Gene Deal, a former bodyguard for Diddy, recounted a dramatic incident between Jay-Z and Tupac in Las Vegas during the height of the East Coast-West Coast feud. According to Deal, Jay-Z was scheduled to perform in Las Vegas when he learned that Tupac was actively looking for him. The news left Jay-Z unwilling to leave his hotel room. As the tension escalated, Suge Knight stepped in to defuse the situation. Deal claimed that Knight told Tupac to give Jay-Z a pass, allowing him to perform at his concert. Without this intervention, Jay-Z likely would have remained in his room. This wasn't the end of Tupac's attacks on Jay-Z. In Tupac's Bomb First, My Second Reply, from the iconic album The Don Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory, Pac unleashes a direct and fiery attack on his rivals, including Jay-Z. This track, positioned as a follow-up to the infamous Hit 'Em Up, reinforces Tupac's unrelenting stance during the East Coast-West Coast feud. The track opens with an aggressive declaration of intent, setting the tone for the album as one of retaliation and dominance. Through lyrics that emphasize loyalty to his crew and a readiness to retaliate, Tupac paints himself as a warrior unafraid to confront his enemies.
I'm a bad boy killer. Jay-Z got to.
Jay-Z's unreleased track Dead or Alive became a focal point for speculation. Recorded in 1996 for Jay-Z's debut album Reasonable Doubt, the track is often viewed as a subtle diss aimed at Tupac. Many fans believe that Dead or Alive was Jay-Z's direct response to Tupac's Bomb First, a track where Tupac explicitly called out Jay-Z alongside other East Coast rivals. In Dead or Alive, Jay-Z's lyrics reflect confidence and defiance, interpreted by some as addressing Tupac's earlier attacks.
Selling 1 million records, more banks to split. On the telly, bumping Machiavelli. I hold no grudge. You diss me, I diss you. What?
After Tupac's death, Jay-Z performed Dead or Alive live at venues like the Apollo Theater. These performances fueled speculation about the song's intent and its connection to Tupac's Bomb First. Despite the buzz, Jay-Z ultimately chose not to release the track officially. According to many sources, this decision was made out of respect for Tupac's legacy. By withholding Dead or Alive, Jay-Z avoided prolonging the feud, which had already claimed the lives of Tupac and Biggie. His decision reflected a strategic move to preserve his career and focus on building his legacy beyond the tensions of the time. Whether Dead or Alive was truly a response to Bomb First remains a subject of debate among fans, but its significance lies in its representation of Jay-Z's approach to one of hip-hop's most tumultuous eras. DJ Clark Kent revealed the existence of a mysterious diss track that Jay-Z recorded and performed live once, aimed at Tupac. Clark Kent described the track as a powerful response to Tupac's relentless attacks. Performed at a live show, the diss reportedly showcased Jay-Z's lyrical prowess and ability to hold his own in one of hip-hop's most intense rivalries. Despite its impact during the live performance, Jay-Z ultimately chose not to record or officially release the track.
Well, you mentioned in a previous interview that Jay-Z had a Tupac diss record that never got released.
But he performed it live at the Apollo one day we was doing the show. It was tough. It was tough, like super tough.
Clark Kent noted that Jay-Z's decision to keep the track unreleased was influenced by Tupac's untimely death in September 1996. Out of respect for Tupac, the diss remained a one-time event, adding an air of mystery to Jay-Z's role in the feud. While Jay-Z ultimately chose not to release his diss track aimed at Tupac, Tupac had already recorded several diss tracks targeting Jay-Z in 1996. These included F*** Friends and All Out, both of which remained unreleased during Tupac's lifetime, but were later featured on his 2001 posthumous album, Until the End of Time. For the album's release, the verses of Tupac's group, The Outlaws, were re-recorded, but Tupac's original verses were left intact. These tracks contained sharp references to Jay-Z, though not all of the lines targeting him made it into the final release. Fans have noted that some of the most pointed mentions of Jay-Z can only be heard in the original versions of the tracks, which have since surfaced on the internet.
JayZs.
JayZs, big outlaws, the criminal death. Bang!
In 2001, the hip-hop world witnessed the release of two iconic albums, Tupac posthumous Until the End of Time and Jay-Z's critically acclaimed The Blueprint. Despite Tupac's untimely death 5 years earlier, the album's sales told a story of his enduring legacy. Until the End of Time, a double album featuring unreleased material and reworked tracks, debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart. It sold over 426,000 copies in its first week alone and eventually achieved quadruple platinum status, with more than 4 million units sold in the US. Jay-Z's The Blueprint, released on September 11, 2001, is often regarded as one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time. Despite its critical acclaim, the album sold approximately 426,000 copies in its first week, matching Tupac's debut week numbers. However, it went on to achieve double platinum status in the US, selling over 2 million copies. The sales figures highlight Tupac's enduring popularity, even in death. While The Blueprint cemented Jay-Z's position as one of rap's most influential figures, Tupac's Until the End of Time demonstrated the unparalleled connection he maintained with his fans, showcasing the depth of his artistry and the timelessness of his messages. Even years after his passing, Tupac's ability to outsell living artists like Jay-Z underscores the profound impact he had on the hip-hop community and popular culture as a whole. While The Blueprint solidified Jay-Z's dominance in the new millennium, Until the End of Time proved that Tupac's voice would continue to resonate, securing his place as a legend whose influence extends far beyond his lifetime. In 2003, there were rumors floating around the hip-hop scene that Rockefeller Records, run by Jay-Z and Damon Dash, were trying to buy some unreleased tracks from the legendary Machiavelli sessions of Tupac. These tracks were recorded during a really intense period just before Tupac's death in 1996, and they had a special place in his music because of their raw energy and intense lyrics. Speculation suggested that Rockefeller was negotiating with Interscope Records to secure select material from these sessions. This move was reportedly part of a broader strategy to capitalize on Tupac's enduring legacy and his continued influence on hip-hop.
We're working on a new project called One Nation. It's gonna be an East Coast, West Coast collaboration. Okay. Not Jay-Z, not Mob Deep. None of them.
However, it is important to note that this information has never been officially verified. In a recent interview, Dame Dash, co-founder of Rockefeller Records, revealed a little-known incident involving Jay-Z and Tupac Shakur. According to Dash, shortly before the tragic events in Las Vegas that claimed Tupac's life, Jay-Z allegedly tried to confront him at the MTV Music Awards. Dash claimed that during the awards show, Jay-Z sought an opportunity to address the brewing tensions between him and Tupac.
It was the one where he had the walkie-talkies. You know, he was coming into New York, and we were probably going to be in the same place. So it was like, obviously, we knew we were going to run into him. So we were like, yo, we might as well get to him before he get to us. So we were just trying to see, like, yo, what was it? You know, we were just trying to see what his temperature was. Is this rap, or what are we doing?
Following the tragic losses of Tupac and Biggie, the hip-hop world was left with a void. As two of the most influential and commercially successful rappers of their time, Tupac and Biggie had set the standard for lyrical excellence, storytelling, and cultural impact. In their absence, Jay-Z emerged as a dominant force, swiftly occupying the space left behind by these two legends. Jay-Z's debut album, Reasonable Doubt, released in 1996, laid the foundation for his career. However, many have speculated that his meteoric rise would not have been as fast-paced had Tupac and Biggie been alive. Their presence in the industry, combined with their established fan bases and influence, would have made it more challenging for any artist, including Jay-Z, to break through at the same level. While Jay-Z's talent and business acumen are undeniable, the timing of his ascent cannot be overlooked. In the wake of Tupac's and Biggie's deaths, the hip-hop industry was searching for new leaders to carry the genre forward. Jay-Z, with his unique style and strategic collaborations, stepped into that role and quickly became one of the most prominent figures in music. Some believe that Jay-Z borrowed elements of Tupac's raw emotional delivery and Biggie's lyrical sophistication to craft his sound. While it's common for artists to be inspired by their predecessors, these comparisons spark debates about whether Jay-Z's rapid ascent was partially built on the foundation laid by Tupac and Biggie. Further fueling these discussions was Jay-Z's 2002 remake of Tupac's classic track, Me and My Girlfriend. The original, featured on Tupac's Machiavelli album, used the metaphor of a gun as a romantic partner to reflect loyalty and struggle. Jay-Z's version, retitled Bonnie and Clyde, reimagined the track as a duet with Beyoncé, focusing on a modern love story, while Jay-Z's reinterpretation introduced the song to a new audience. Many fans viewed the remake as a bold move, with some questioning whether it honored Tupac's legacy or overshadowed it.
Me and My Girlfriend is from the original Tupacs. Those guys went through a lot of drama and success. You parallel your journey with theirs?
You know, like Big and Pop, like they all open doors. They laid the blueprint for me.
Whether viewed as homage or appropriation, Jay-Z's connections to Tupac and Biggie remain a significant chapter in his story. Their influence on his music and the hip-hop landscape as a whole underscores the enduring legacy of two of rap's greatest icons. JayZ's legacy as a cultural icon and business mogul remains a towering achievement in hip-hop. However, his close association with Sean Diddy Combs has come under increased scrutiny following Diddy's recent arrest and ongoing legal troubles. In recent months, Diddy has faced serious charges and lawsuits, sparking widespread media attention. These allegations have not only cast a shadow over Diddy's own legacy, but have also raised questions about those closely associated with him, including Jay-Z. Their long-standing friendship and collaborative history have led some to speculate about the ethical implications of their ties during a tumultuous era in hip-hop. Can Jay-Z's legacy withstand the weight of these accusations? Or will history demand a closer look at his rise to fame?